You think you have a confidence problem. You've told yourself that if you were just a little more extroverted, a little braver, a little built for being seen, you would be posting without overthinking it, pitching without your stomach dropping, showing up the way that people and that you admire seem to show up effortlessly. I want to tell you something today that might sting a little before it sets you free. That is absolutely not it. That was never it. And if you've spent the last however many months rebuilding your website like me, like I was doing for the fifth time, telling yourself you will put yourself out there once it's perfect, once you are more confident, once you are finally ready, and once you feel ready. I want you to hear this. You don't have a confidence problem. You have a whole problem. And by the end of this video, you are going to know the difference. And more importantly, you are going to know exactly what to do about it. Let me paint a picture and tell me if any of this feels familiar. You left corporate with a vision bigger than a job title. You were not running from something. You were running towards something, a life that actually reflects who you are on your own terms, built by your own ends. And you genuinely believed that your drive, your work ethic, your refusal to wait for perfect conditions would be enough. You genuinely believed it would be enough. You're not the type who sits around waiting to feel ready. You meet a wall and you look for the door immediately. That's just who you are. And then one day something cracked. It wasn't dramatic. No one handed you bad news. It was smaller than that. And somehow it hurt more. You saw someone who started around the same time as you, maybe even after you, and they're living that dream. They are living the feature moments, the sold out launches, the client testimonials that sound exactly like the one you've been dreaming about writing for your landing page and your website. Maybe it was a podcast appearance, a LinkedIn post announcing their best month yet. Your response wasn't jealousy. Jealousy would probably be easier. This was something quieter and also heavier. It was the realization that you have been working just as hard, believing just as much, and the gap between where you are and where you thought you would be by now isn't closing yet. In fact, it's actually widening. And so you give yourself a deadline. Maybe you didn't say that out loud. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. You gave yourself that deadline, right? Probably the end of the year. But it was a quiet ultimatum that you made with yourself that no one else knows about. And you got to work. You invested in the visibility strategy that promised more reach, in the ideal client workshop that stayed surface level, in the growth program that never actually touched the thing that was broken. Some you finished, some you did not, but none of them, not even one, fixed it. Now, here's what nobody tells you about this part. Every investment that did not deliver didn't just cost you money, it cost you trust in the strategies out there and quietly in yourself. And every time you had to justify the next investment to yourself, to the people watching, that you bet on this, it got a little harder. So now, technically, you're still showing up. You're still creating content. You're still in the Facebook groups. You're still putting in the hours. But if you're honest, the fire that came with that deadline has gone quiet. You're moving through the motions without the conviction that used to make it feel like it meant something. Maybe the launch you put everything to flopped. Maybe the content you lost sleep over perfecting disappeared into a void with barely a ripple. And the savings you set aside to give yourself a real shot is running lower than you like to admit out loud. That decision you gave yourself those months going back and like calling it a season instead of a chapter is sitting right in front of you right now. And you have not said out loud, you've not said it out loud, how close you're actually to making that decision. But emotionally, you already know. And here's the part I really need you to hear. None of that happened because you're not visible enough. There is a lie that almost every one of us gets for the moment we start building something of our own. I just need to be seen more. It feels true. Like it sounds logical, even. Like more eyeballs, more chances someone buys, right? And on the surface, that math actually checks out. But that math only works if the eyeballs belong to the right person to begin with. Otherwise, you just work in order to be seen by people who are never going to say yes in this first place. 90% of the people I work with have already been told to post more, show up more, stay consistent. And they did it, right? It gave them a couple weeks of relief, and then they were right back to square one, wondering what was wrong, wondering if something was wrong, wondering if they were just not built for entrepreneurship the way other people seem to be. Maybe they were not fit for this entrepreneurship thing. And here's the part that gets missed. This lie hides somewhere really sneaky. It lets you stay busy without having to ever get specific. Saying I need to be more visible feels productive. Like it feels like something you could act on tomorrow. But saying like I need to figure out exactly who I'm for feels like we're exposing ourselves because it means that you immediately have to decide. One is comfortable and then one is uncomfortable. So the other is precise and a little vulnerable. And many of us will choose comfort and vague every single time without even realizing that's what we're doing. And that's what website rebuilding actually was for me when I was doing that. It wasn't procrastination, it wasn't laziness, it was me safekeeping. It was a very sophisticated way to look busy while staying invincible to the people who actually need to find you. So here's the thing about getting over yourself that no one frames correctly. It's not about becoming louder. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's not waking up one day suddenly comfortable, performing extroversion that you never actually had. Getting over yourself in the way that actually moves your business forward means realizing that your visibility was never supposed to be about you. I want you to listen to that again. It was never supposed to be with you, about you. You were never supposed to carry being seen as a weight of personal exposure. There are people out there who actually need what you have to offer in exactly the way you offer it. And every day you stay hidden behind another redesign, another not ready yet. You are not protecting yourself from judgment. You are withholding something from someone who's actually looking for it. And that's a little bit like stealing. This is what makes visibility survivable for people like us who are never built to be loud. Because the moment visibility starts or stops being about being seen and starts being about being visible to the right person, right? The fear that we were hiding behind, right? It changes shape. And we discover that, oh my God, this is actually possible. I don't have to be loud. I don't have to be everywhere. I don't have to have 10 platforms and a post and shadow that exhaust me. You just need one clear signal aimed at one specific person or as many persons in multiple business sent consistently. And here's what is counterintuitive. Once the best client that you're actually speaking to gets sharper, you start to post less and not more, and it converts better because every single piece of content is actually aimed at someone instead of trying to be relevant to everyone. So here's a quick gut check before we close this up. If a stranger reads your last three posts, could they tell you exactly who you are for? I'm not talking about industry or demographics. I'm talking about R. I'm talking about M, specifically at the exact moment that that person is. If you had to pause and think about that, no pressure. I want you to hear this clearly. That is not a confidence problem. It's simply a who problem. It's not that you're not visible enough problem. It's a fixable problem. And often in one sitting, once you know exactly how to build it. Because the truth is, you don't have a visibility problem. You have a filter problem. And once you sharpen who you are, once you clock it, being seen stops being the terrifying thing that you are avoiding and it starts being the natural byproduct of finally speaking to someone real, someone who is for you. Now, if everything I just described felt uncomfortably familiar, the comparison moment, the investment that didn't fix it, the showing up without the fire underneath it anymore. I built something specifically for you and exactly where you are right now. It's called the Sustainably Visible SEO Bootcamp, and it's the foundation to becoming the one, the only choice that the best clients, your best clients find, recognize and choose consistently in 90 days or less. Even if right now you are close to making the decision to go back to 9 to 5 or close the business. This is not about becoming louder, it's about getting sustainably magnetically clear about who you are. So the invincible, being visible, finally stops costing you your nervous system and really starts making you feel fit and start making you feel comfortable with being out there. The link is in the description, and I look forward to seeing you inside of that. I also left another two link for you to audit your present all statement alongside that, your ideal client statement alongside that, because that's going to give you a breakdown on if you are precise, you've clocked exactly who you're speaking to. So reserve your seat for my boot camp. And the next step for you is to actually take that audit. It diagnoses like your ideal client through my client magnet U framework and gives you the result whether you're speaking to exactly who you're speaking to or a demographic. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to connecting with you inside of the bootcamp and definitely take advantage of the audit as well. I want you to leave with this. You are not bad at visibility. We've been told that lie and to absolutely told lie that you need to be seen more because being seen is totally different from being visible to the right client. And I know that you're a genius. You're an expert. You're good at what you do. You deliver and you deliver wow. You clock it when you deliver. And the right people, they deserve to hear what you have to offer for this generation. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. That's all from me. See you in the next video.